Yeah, Linux is really great for customizing everything, for tiling, for macros, for all of that. I also do the same in Windows with AutoHotkey, where you just customize the whole thing
Yes.
to your preferences.
If you're a developer, you should learn how to control your environment with the keyboard. It's faster, it's more fluid. I think one of those silly things I've come to truly appreciate about my Almacoup setup is that I can, in whatever time it takes to refresh the screen, probably 5 milliseconds, switch from one virtual desktop to another. Even on Windows, can't get it that smooth.
Hmm.
You can get close, can't get it that smooth. On macOS, for whatever reason, Apple insists on having this infuriating animation when you switch between virtual desktops, which makes it just that you don't want to. You don't want to run full screen apps because it's too cumbersome to switch between the virtual desktops. The kind of immediacy that you can get from a wonderful Linux setup in that regard is just next level.
Yeah, and it seems like a subtle thing, but difference of milliseconds and latency between switching the virtual desktops, for example. I don't know, it changes.
It changes how you use the computer. It really does.
Similar thing with VR, right? If there's some kind of latency or
Yes. Yes.
like it just completely takes you out of it. Yeah.
And it's funny, I actually had to watch, I think it was the Primogen on YouTube when he was showing off his setup. And I was seeing how quickly he was switching between those virtual desktops. And I'd always been using virtual desktops, but I didn't like switching too much because just of that latency. And it's like, oh, you can do that on Linux? Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I run that. And then my editor of choice now is NeoVim.
Oh, good. All right. Well, we're out of time. No. All right. You did for many, many years. You used, what is it, TextMate?
Yes,
TextMate.
TextMate.
Yeah.
That was the main blocker of moving away from Apple. Everything else I thought, you know what, I can swing it. But TextMate was and is a wonderful editor. One I helped birth into this world. The programmer, Alan Ugo, is a good friend of mine all the way back from the party days when we were lugging our computers around.
Nice.
And he was a big Mac guy. And in 2005, he was writing this editor. And I helped him with the project management of kind of keeping him on track, keeping him focused on getting something released because I really wanted it for myself. And I thought this was the last editor. I thought I was never going to switch.
Forgive me for not knowing, but how featureful is this editor? Is this?
It's quite featureful, but it's a GUI driven editor in some regards. It was really early on with ways of recording macros and having sort of sophisticated syntax highlighting. And it did a bunch of firsts, and it was just a really pleasant editing experience. I think these days, a lot of people would just use VS Code. VS Codes exist in the same universe as TextMate in some ways, and actually, I think is compatible with the original TextMate bundles, the original TextMate format. So it really trailed a path there, but it also just didn't evolve.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people saw a huge problem with that. They were like, "Oh, it needs to have more features. It needs to have all these things." I was like, "I'm happy with this text editor that hasn't changed at all. Basically, when Alan stopped working on it for a decade or more, I don't need anything else." Because as our original discussion went, I don't want an IDE. I don't want the editor to write code for me. I want a text editor. I want to interact with characters directly. And NeoVim allows me to do that in some ways that are even better than TextMate. And I love TextMate, but VI, as you know, once you learn the commands, and I sometimes feel like VI fans overplay how difficult it is to learn because it makes them perhaps seem kind of more awesome that they were able to do it. It's not that difficult. And it doesn't take that long, in my opinion, to learn just enough combo moves to get that high of holy shit, I could not do this in any other editor.
How long did it take you? And by the way, I don't know. I haven't yet. Oh, I know intellectually, but just like with kids, I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't gone in all the way
Oh,
in. I haven't used Vim.
you have a treat in mind. Well, I switched in about I had 3 days when I switched here about a year ago. I had 3 days of cursing where I thought it was absolutely terrible and that it was never going to happen. And I had 3 days of annoyance. And already the next week, I was like, this is sweet. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh wow.
But I also had a bit of a head start about 20 years ago in the early 2000s. I tried Vim for like a summer and it didn't stick. I didn't, for whatever reason, love it at the time, but NeoVim is really good. The key to NeoVim is to realize that you don't have to build the whole damn editor yourself. So a lot of NeoVim stands are like, here's how to write the config from scratch over 17 episodes. That's going to take you 3 weeks. I don't care that much. I love a great editor. I love to tailor it a little bit, but not that much. So you have to pair NeoVim with this thing called LazyVim. LazyVim.org is a distribution for NeoVim that takes all the drudgery out of getting an amazing editor experience right out of the box.